Imagine this, 12 tiny drones, each cheaper than a smartphone, flying low over a battlefield in eastern Ukraine. Their entire mission costs less than $5,000. Their target? A Russian ammunition train carrying thermobaric rockets worth over $127 million. And in just 12 minutes, those drones will do what missiles and artillery couldn't erase an entire supply line using fishing line, fiber optics, and a little bit of genius. This is the story of the $4,800 strike. At 13:47 hours in occupied Zaporizhia, 12 Ukrainian drones scream low across the fields at 97 kilometers per hour. Their target, a Russian ammunition train hauling thermobaric rockets and diesel fuel to the front. But the drone operators don't know that Russian artillery has already found their position. The first 152mm shell lands 800 meters away, close enough to shake dust from the bunker ceiling. The Russians detected them the moment all 48 brushless motors powered up. That sudden electromagnetic spike lit up every sensor within 10 kilometers, like flipping on a floodlight in the dark. The operators have two choices: abort and live, or continue and probably die. They choose to continue. A Russian BTR armored vehicle spots the swarm first. Its gunner opens fire, traces slicing through the morning air. The formation splits instantly, for high, for low, for straight ahead. The bullets miss. What the Russians can't see is that each drone is connected to its operator by a fiber optic cable thinner than fishing line. While Russian jammers flood the air with 10 kilowatts of interference, these cables carry data at light speed, completely immune. The 10 million electronic warfare truck below them is now nothing more than a paperweight. Russian artillery finds the operator's position and begins pounding it, but the Ukrainians are ready. They've prepared 3 separate bunkers, spaced 500 meters apart. The lethal radius of a 152mm shell is 300 meters. That spacing means a direct hit could destroy one bunker, maybe 2, but never all 3. 8 drones are guaranteed to survive. The second shell lands closer, 600 meters. Through the lead drone's camera, the operators see the train long, black, smoking diesel, rolling into a 2-kilometer stretch of exposed track. The perfect ambush point. Then a third round hits. Shrapnel tears through the sky at 1,500 meters per second. 3 drones numbers 2, 5, and 8 lose their fiber optic cables. They switch to radio backup, instantly vulnerable to jamming. The other 9 remain untouched, their signals immune as light pulses through glass at 200,000 kilometers per second. The operators relocate through underground tunnels just as the next shell hits their previous position. They move fast. They only need 12 more minutes for the mission to succeed.
Meanwhile, the Russian R-33OZH Zytel electronic warfare system detects the swarm and activates. 10 kilowatts of jamming energy flood every frequency. The 3 radio-controlled drones die instantly, screens turning to static. But the 9 fiber-linked drones keep flying, impossibly clean signals cutting through the chaos. The Zytel operators are confused. Their displays show total frequency saturation, yet 9 drones continue unaffected. They double power, flooding every military and civilian band. It doesn't matter. Trying to jam fiber optics is like trying to stop a flashlight by shouting at it. Worse for the Russians, their own radios go dead. The jamming blinds them as much as the Ukrainians. The BTR gunner who spotted the drones can't even call for help. The 9 surviving drones press on. At checkpoint 9, ABTR opens fire again, 800 rounds per minute, but the drones jink and weave like angry hornets. The gunner can't track them. In simulators, targets move predictably. These drones dance erratically, changing direction every 2 seconds. Every shot misses. Through his sights, he can even see the fiber optic cables glinting in the sun like spider silk. Beautiful and terrifying. The drones close to within 5 kilometers. A Panzer S-1 air defense system detects them next. Its radar filters them out as ground clutter, so the operator switches to optical mode, manual tracking through what's basically a $1 million telescope. The Panzer gunner opens fire at 3,200 meters with twin 30mm autocannons, not aiming at individual drones but creating a wall of metal. At 5,000 rounds per minute, it's a storm of steel. Drone 6 disappears in a flash. Drone 11 follows 3 seconds later. The survivors scatter. 3 climb high, 3 dive low, 1 stays level and weaves side to side. The gunner has 2 seconds to decide which group to target. He chooses the high group, a mistake. The low-flying drones race under his barrels, too close for the guns to depress. At ground level, Russian troops open up with rifles and machine guns. 40 AKS firing together sound like tearing fabric, but the geometry is impossible. The drones cross their sights in less than a second. By the time a soldier aims, the target is gone. Then, from 500 meters up, for drones dive and drop thermite charges on the rails behind the train. The white-hot mixture burns at 500 degrees Celsius, melting the tracks into glowing puddles of metal. The train is trapped. The Panzer's barrels glow cherry red. They've been firing too long. The gunner has to stop before the barrels warp. That 12-second pause is all the drones need. 7 drones remain. Battery levels flash ember to 20%, 18%. They need 30 seconds more flight time, but might only have 20 left. Smoke from burning grass drifts across the field, blocking thermal sights. The Russians lose visual contact. The drones punch through the haze at 1,400 meters. Now they can see every detail. Wagon numbers, rust warning labels.
The fiber optic cables reach maximum extension and automatically release. The drones switch to battery and radio, now vulnerable to jamming, but it's too late. They're seconds from impact. The train engineer sees them coming. 7 black specks growing fast. He slams the throttle forward, but the wheels start slipping. Friction drops. Speed falls. The train actually slows down. The Panzer tries one last engagement, but the drones are too low, below its depression angle. $20 million worth of air defense beaten by simple trigonometry. At 1359, the lead drone hits the coupling between locomotive and first wagon. The shape-charged warhead blasts molten copper through steel at 9 times the speed of sound. The coupling shears clean off. For more drones impact in rapid succession, Wagon 3's fuel tank bursts into flames. Wagon 7's brake line seizes, locking the wheels. Wagon 18, loaded with ammunition, explodes violently, and Wagon 22, labeled Class 1.1 explosive, takes a direct hit. Inside it are 12 tons of thermobaric rockets, already weakened by vibration. The heat from the explosion pushes the temperature past ignition. The entire wagon, and the 4 behind it, vaporize in a single, blinding flash. The shockwave races outward at 3,000 meters per second. Wagons 25 through 47 are lifted off the rails and hurled through the air like toys. A mushroom cloud rises 1,400 meters high in less than 4 seconds. For $1,800 worth of modified racing drones obliterate $127 million in Russian equipment and sever the only rail line supplying 3 mechanized divisions. The operators watch through fading static, their screens white with interference. Then silence. Mission accomplished. No Sayamo Vanuti. We came.